welcome to the Holy Shhh Sports Podcast. It's your boy ABE from DET.
It's your boy Rose, and he just funny.
It's your boy, Coach DTM, man. What's good?
I'm that ball bro for the NYC.
Giving y'all daily news of sports, NFL, NBA, everything under the sun that is not pro wrestling. You want that shit? Go to the other page. But anyway, let's get into it right away. No further ado. The number one topic on the board, number one thing to talk about is Mike Tomlin parts ways with the Steelers. Everybody and their mama seen it coming. Now it is here. He didn't get fired. He stepped down, meaning if another team wants his services, you cannot sign him. You would have to make a trade package with players or picks or whatever the Steelers see fit to acquire his services. So this isn't like all the other coaches who are just free to do whatever they want. You need to give compensation to the Steelers if you want Mike Tomlin as your head coach. To start us off, bro, how you feel about this breaking news with Mike Tomlin?
I think it's about time. I just feel, unfortunately, it's been since 2011, since the last Super Bowl appearance, and I think he officially tied the record with Marvin Lewis for the most playoff losses in a row at 7. I mean, I understand it's the Steelers organization. It's not how they do things. They don't fire coaches. I mean, Tomlin, I think, was only the third coach in I think in the franchise history since joining the NFL. If I'm correct.
Since 1970. Since 1970.
Yeah, I know the freaking Yinzers attacked.
Yeah, they're gonna correct you in the
I'm talking about NFL history, okay? Not all time, all right? Calm down with your ugly ass terrible towers, all right? Listen, yeah, like I said, it's not how they do things normally, but it was time. You just tied Marvin Lewis for 7 straight playoff losses, and I just think it's a time where a different voice needs to be in the building, and to go in a different direction. But the issue isn't just replacing Tomlin, because I think Aaron Rodgers just played his final game. I think he's done. I think he's cooked. I think we just saw his final game. I think he's going to retire. We're going to get that announcement probably later this week. But I think it's good for both parties. A new voice is needed in the building. And Tomlin, this is a fresh new start. Maybe he'll feel reinvigorated on wherever he goes from here on out. It's just now, like you said, you got to give up draft collateral to get him. So who's really going to make that step forward? I mean, we'll see.
Coach DTM, Mike Tomlin steps down from the Steelers. How you feel about it? Talk about it.
Talk about it. Listen, man, let me tell you something. We are in a day and age where being good is just not good enough. You feel what I'm saying? So to just keep getting the same record year after year after year after year is just not enough. And you cannot just keep. They tried to change quarterbacks. That didn't work. They tried to change just everybody. Everybody has had a change except for the coach. So at this point, somebody's got to go. Now, this last game that they played, granted, both teams looked really bad on offense. It looks really bad, but defense actually stepped up. Defense was the one that was going to determine who was going to win that game. And I think while Mike Tomlin was sitting on the sideline, he was like, yeah, that's going to do it for me. I'm done. I'm done with this right here. Where do I punch out at?
Exactly. Rose, 19 seasons, 13 in the playoffs. No losing season, but Mike Tomlin steps down. How do you feel about it?
Okay. I feel like when it comes to Mike Tomlin, I feel like he probably just done. When you look at the Steelers roster, they got the second oldest roster in the league. The best player they have on their roster right now is Cameron Hayward, and he turns 37 in the next 2 months. So you don't know who your quarterback is going to be because Aaron Rodgers is obviously done. You don't have nobody behind him to come in there. You spend all your money on the defense with TJ Watt. Then you got guys like Jalen Ramsey, stuff like that. You really don't have no offense for real. As far as him just leaving, I do feel like he just went in there and he was like, I'm done. It's nothing I can do. So
Right.
I feel like the team maybe deserves better than what I can give them now. Because I don't see Wayne Rooney firing nobody. The Rooneys don't fire nobody. And I don't think he just woke up at 70-some years old and just like got balls out of nowhere to fire somebody. So I do think Tomlin told them he'll step down, and I think he'll just go to TV, and then when the Cowboys fire they coach, he'll come back and coach the Cowboys.
Right. I could definitely see that happening for sure. But he wasn't the only coach leaving. Oh man, where am I with this? I'm all over the place here. He wasn't the only coach leaving, as Kevin Patullo, whatever you want to pronounce his name, the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, got the chop, and he's done. This will be the 5th season with the 5th different offensive coordinator. This organization may have won a Super Bowl last year, but in my book, they're a shit show. Anyway, Philadelphia Eagles are looking for an offensive coordinator, Mike McDaniels. Everybody was saying he was headed to the Lions. I mean, I'm going to be honest, me a Lions fans, I think the Eagles' job looked just as interesting, if not more, than the Lions. There's a lot of potential out there for offensive coordinators, but y'all saying hell no. Rose, Kevin Patullo fired from Philadelphia as offensive coordinator. How do you feel about it?
Man, Kevin Patullo ain't nothing but the scapegoat. That's all he is. He's just the scapegoat. He the one thing that you could point in the shit show that's just like, yeah, that person is his fault. Listen, 5 offensive coordinators. Okay, there's reports coming out saying Jalen Hurts can't run the offense. They don't want to do complicated stuff because he can't do the complicated stuff. He's been in the NFL for how long? He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So, like, he's supposed to be capable to run an NFL offense. So the fact that they're like, yeah, we got to go back to doing stuff that we did when he was a rookie and do that to get him going, that doesn't make sense at all. And the 5 offensive coordinators, that sounds like somebody else is the problem. And I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot going on in that locker room and all that, but Kevin Patullo just the fall guy. That's all that is.
Definitely. Bob, bro, AJ Brown was saying he was calling him the offensive coordinator instead of his name. Well, now we see there was some tension, and he is out of the Eagles. How do you feel about Kevin Patullo being canned?
I mean, there's a couple phrases I could use. I could say fall guy. I could say scapegoat. Because what does Kevin Patullo have to do with AJ Brown dropping those passes that Sunday night? That post pattern right up the middle, right through AJ Brown's hands. He dropped him. He got stone hands. He was eating popcorn before the game, and you know what? He didn't towel off or at halftime, whatever, get that butter off his fingers, whatever. Like, you talk all he's the loudest guy on the team in the league, and this is how you show up in a first round playoff matchup right there against a 49ers defense that, no lie, might have half their damn team from the damn YMCA right there. Like, they were on their 6th and 7th linebackers out there. That was the Brian Kendricks freaking legacy game right there. 12 years in the league, and he wasn't even on the roster to start the year. That's a scapegoat right there in Kevin Patullo right there. Because, like Rose said, 5 OCs in 5 seasons. And can I ask something real quick? What does Nick Sirianni do? Look at all the other coaches around the league. Everyone has an identity. Sean Payton, offensive genius. Like Mike Vrabel, defensive minded coach. What does Nick Sirianni do besides talk shit to the opposing team's fans after they beat him on the road? That's all we know him for. What does he do? What is his specialty? It ain't offense, because if it was offense, he would have taken over the offensive play calling. 5 OCs in 5 years. You know what? Listen, I would put him on the hot seat going into next year. Don't give me the fact that, he won a Super Bowl last year. They fired Doug Peterson to 2 years after winning 2 years after winning the Super Bowl. So it is not off the table right here. So I think AJ Brown is gone. I think he's going to ask for a trade. I think he's out of there. And we're going to have a closer look at Jalen Hurts going into next year, because the elite talks are over. I've never believed them. I'm sorry. He had all the right pieces around him. It was a perfect storm for him, but I'm sorry. I didn't see anything elite in their loss to San Francisco.
Definitely. Coach DTM Kevin Patullo fired as offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. How you feel about it? Is he the scapegoat?
He's definitely the scapegoat. He's definitely the selection because you can't really do AJ Brown, even though he probably the one that should have got cut. You feel what I'm saying? It's just too many issues on the sideline during the game. It's one thing to have issues in the locker room, but when you bring it to the game during the game, one of the most important games, because you're trying to go back, back to back with it. Somebody got to get selected, and I feel like he was the safest choice. I heard something earlier where he would have to get like, was it 90 million or 9 million? What was it? Was some kind. It was up there to where they couldn't afford to just let AJ Brown go, because they didn't want to have to pay that money on the back end like that. So this is it. Who else?
Who else besides Kevin Patullo getting canned?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We're going to stick with NFL and come back, but we're going to take a quick jump to the NBA as Street Clothes himself is back in street clothes for multiple months now. Anthony Davis out with a hand injury, supposedly having surgery. Rose, is this news or no news? Street clothes back in street clothes. Anthony Davis out.
It's actually news because teams, for some reason, were interested in the trading for him. And like, I think that was news for the Mavericks because they was like, we could finally kind of get away from this. Like, we can finally get away. And then come to find out right before he gets traded, all of a sudden he gets a hand injury. It always happens. Like, every time he gets close to almost leaving, it happened in LA a bunch of times. This is why I feel like the GM kept it quiet with the Luka Doncic trade. Because he was like, nah, you ain't going to get me. You ain't going to get me this time. So when we trade you, it's going to be at night. So like every time it's a rumor about him getting traded ever since he went to LA. Oh, he's hurt. So now all of a sudden his hand is hurt. So like it just feels like it feels like Anthony Davis at this point he's washed up. He's not what he used to be.
Definitely. Coach DTM, here in Detroit, there was a lot of trade rumors about Anthony Davis being the final piece to the Pistons getting over the hump and winning that title, but not so much now. How you feel about his injury being out for months now?
I don't think here in Detroit we needed another water boy. You know what I'm saying? So we were straight on that. Yeah, like Rose said, man, he's done, man. He's done. Nobody's going to want to risk the chance of even signing with him at this point because he can't stay healthy. He kind of like, I don't know if it's a curse on the big men in the NBA right now, what's going on, but the big men that you want to see down on that post getting busy, we can't see because they constantly stay injured. It's I don't know what's going on with it, man. So no, this is not a shocker to me. Bro, been injured since. Has he played? I think he probably.
He played a little bit this season. He played good when he played, but
but that's the problem when he played. You know what I'm saying? Like for you to have been on this team for less than 2 years, and they like, shoot, I'm just trying to get from up under this. Like that's not a good sign, yo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he got to get He got to go ahead and retire now before his name get pushed to the mud even more.
Definitely. Bro, Charles Barkley calls him street clothes. I call him Mr. Glass. You may call him Anthony Davis, but he out for months. How you feel about it?
This Luka Doncic trade just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. I think in modern NBA history, this might go down as the second worst trade in NBA modern day history. My opinion, it's the Paul George trade. Like, from the Clippers to OKC. Oh my God, I'll do a video one day on just all like giving up SGA and all those picks and who they turned out to be. That's a fucking travesty right there. Everyone should be losing jobs over there. But back to AD, I think it's over for him for whatever reason. Like, if it's just a lifetime of like a black cloud over his head. Like, you ever watch the Looney Tunes, like black clouds storming, raining, he's walking under all the ladders, he broke all the damn mirrors or whatever. Like, you sneeze on this dude and he's on the injured list. Like you accidentally like bump into him in the hallway. He's having hernia surgery. He's just fragile. He's just like, we heard of the Iceman, George Gervin. Like he's the glass man. That's what he is. He's a walking glass house. Like, man, approach like this dude should have Naomi's gimmick, like approach with caution. Anthony Davis. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, listen, like you said, when he plays, he's a great contributor and he can help a championship caliber team. But that's the problem when he plays. Like, no team's going to take a risk giving up draft capital or any young players in return. I mean, I think that's it. He's a walking red flag, like especially in a few weeks or in the future. Honestly, I think it's best he probably just hang it up. I mean, what reputable team is going to want to take a risk like giving him all that money and all that time?
Definitely.
You know what it is? Two things. He gonna have to, for one, probably play and get paid by the hour, so that way he'll actually play. And two, bro, got to grow the unibrow back. That's the problem. He cut the unibrow. He ain't the same no more.
He lost them superpowers.
Yeah.
Definitely. Next up, Kyle Shanahan leads the 49ers to victory. This man, in my opinion, is undoubtedly the coach of the year. I mean, the Lions, they say, oh, we had injuries. Well, guess what? This guy had more injuries than you, and he is headed to the divisional round with a hobbled team and a last pick quarterback, but he's getting it done because of great coaching. Rose, can you break down this game for us and how Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers advance over the Super Bowl champs?
Well, first off, congratulations to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers advancing to go ahead and play against the Seahawks in the next round. But I'm not going to lie, like most of the game, it has to be like just the Eagles not playing good enough. Defensive backs, I don't know where they were. George Kittle went ahead, tore his Achilles, but Brock Purdy was still able to find somebody. Kyle Juszczyk came in and basically became George Kittle of the offense. So, like, I don't know what really happened with the offensive calls on the Eagles side. A.J. Brown had 5 drops in the game. So that was crazy. He had 3 critical ones for that. Jalen Hurts right now is looking like somebody who doesn't want to run. He just wants to be a pocket passer. It's a lot of holes on this team that they have not figured out as far as the Eagles. And it's more of the Eagles losing the game than, unfortunately, the 49ers winning. And it just feels like right now the Eagles are not in a good spot. And like, even with Patullo being fired, like, you got to ask yourself who wants to coach there, because you might not have A.J. Brown when you get there. Then you got to figure out how you going to scheme for Jalen Hurts to do something for he can understand. And then you have to figure out, I know he's been like very, very healthy the last 2 seasons, but like, you have to figure out, like, and pray that Saquon Barkley is there. So, like, you got to hope that you have another season out of him. So, it doesn't look good for them at all.
Definitely. Bob, bro, how you feel about these 49ers advancing with the great coaching of Kyle Shanahan?
Oh, in my opinion, he's undoubtedly the coach of the year. I mean, listen, they're not the San Francisco 49ers. They're the San Francisco Walking Dead, essentially. Like, damn, their injury list is like just endless, man. It's like that Browns jersey with all the quarterbacks they got on the back of their jersey. That's how many people they got. And if it wasn't bad enough, you lose George Kittle in the middle of the game. Like, we saw that replay when he popped his Achilles. Like, you feel bad, but then it's just next man up. Kyle Juszczyk, like, turning back the clock, like, been in the NFL over a decade plus. He's making plays. Jawan Jennings throwing touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey. DeMarcus Robinson, remember that name from Kansas City? He's stepping up. He's making plays. And Brian Kendricks, linebacker, who didn't even start the season with the 49ers, played the game of his life, had the game-ending deflection on the 4th down. I mean, you can't say enough. Like, one coach, Kyle Shanahan, was playing chess, and freaking Nick Sirianni, I can't even say he's playing checkers. He was playing like tic-tac-toe or hopscotch on the sidewalk in the summer.
Uno.
Like because like you said, like
Just playing
talent-wise,
Uno.
like talent-wise, the Eagles got it, no problem. But when it came to coaching and scheming and adjustments as the game went along, it was really no competition. Like, you know, the scoreboard will say a different story, but like in a game between Shanahan and Sirianni, it was no contest. So you see who's the far superior coach, and it was Shanahan by a mile.
Definitely. Where are we at with this? Coach DTM, Shanahan gets the job done. How you feel about the 49ers advancing?
Man, sometimes as a coach, you don't necessarily have to do a lot. You just gotta let the team, the opponents, not do enough. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to try to outcoach. You don't have to try to outplay. You just keep going to the end. Like, that's the one thing I like about this team, is that there is no quitting before the 60 minutes is up. Right? They playing until the end. They don't care what the score is. We're playing until the end. And they kind of remind me of the Lions, you know, what, a year ago, 2 years ago, when we kept having all these massive injuries and we were still figuring it out. I like a team that just figure it out, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it just makes the opponents have to almost battle themselves. That's why you see them fighting on the sideline. And that's why you see the coach, like, usually he probably wouldn't have said nothing, but he's like, hey, we throwing you the ball. You just ain't catching it, bum. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't say I'm open, throw me the ball, and then you don't catch none of the ball. Come on, man. You gotta pick your game up. So you starting to show them holes that they got over there and make them go back to the drawing board and make them try again maybe next year.
Definitely. Me being a Lions fan, I really hate to admit this, and it's killing my soul to even say it out of my mouth, but Caleb Williams might actually be him. I mean, incredible game that he had this weekend over the Packers. He won that game. His mobility to get out the pocket, keep the play alive. Just when they needed something to happen, he was there. This was his coming out the closet party, and this is no pun intended to his painted nails. I mean, him as a goddamn great quarterback, all right? He is come out. He is him. I'm going to give him his props. Caleb Williams, you are that guy. But, boy, bro, can you talk about this a little more with us? How you feel about Chicago getting a win over those cheeseheads this weekend?
Listen, I know there wasn't a good outcome from this game for you, Abe, for you, Coach, like for all the Detroit fans out there. But listen, like you said, he might be him. I mean, that play on, what was it? First off, you're down what, 21-9 in the fourth quarter. That fourth down with like 5 minutes to go, you're down by 11. He's rolling to his left. You're rolling to left. That throw that he made, I think I can name only two other quarterbacks in the NFL who can make that throw. Maybe Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. That's it. Like, and he threw it on a dime, right on the ball. I think, and as soon as he made that play, you know, the football gods, I think, just determined, like, yeah, the Bears are winning this game. When you make a play like that, there's nothing the Packers could do. And what's crazy is that the Packers would go on to score in the next drive. They kept putting pressure on, but Caleb would not be denied. Like he said, he kept the game alive with his mobility and just that game-winning touchdown, just horrible, like, defensive breakdown. DJ Moore wide open in the end zone. And then, you know, just it was insane. It's like, what, the biggest fourth quarter comeback in Bears history in almost 100 years. Like, it was insane to do that to your heated rival against the Packers. Like I said, that was a legendary performance. As a Giants fan, that reminds me back at 01-02 when we lost that wild card game to the 49ers. So I felt that pain. I know that pain as a fan. But listen, Caleb, like I said, he might be next man up in the league. And now they got the Rams coming in there. You know, we'll see what happens. But I think he's in the driver's seat right now. The Bears are in a good spot. Let's see what happens going forward.
Coach DTM, does this hurt you as bad as it hurt me to admit it? But Caleb Williams might actually be him. How'd you feel about his performance versus the Packers?
Let me tell you something, man. Them Detroit Bears did their thing this weekend, man. They got our coordinator, so we gonna rep him. That's all we got right now. That boy, man, he definitely came a long way. I couldn't stand him at first, but I like anybody with grit. I like the way Ben Johnson said, F them boys over there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man, F them Packers. I like the way they had the cheese graters, and they would let them know, look, we do this. We do this. And look, they was the one. They made you want to watch this game. This was probably the most interesting game on this whole weekend.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Definitely. Rose, am I over exaggerating by saying Caleb Williams is him?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just for the simple fact, man. I hate to be that guy, man. But
be that guy.
Yeah, you're only gonna survive playing one quarter of football so many times.
Yeah.
You're only gonna survive not playing the full four quarters so many times. Cause I get it, you can get by Green Bay, you can get by people, you can get by, I hate to say this, the Lions, you can get by other teams like that, maybe people, your rivals and stuff like that. But it's a team in Seattle that I know is going to play 4 quarters of football. And when it's time for you to wake up in the 4th quarter, they definitely going to be like, oh, we've been here.
We've been here.
So like, I think, is he clutch? Yes, he's definitely clutch. Is he talented? Yes, he's definitely talented. But I would like to see him dominate a game before, like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, all those quarterbacks I named, they dominate teams. Caleb Williams don't dominate teams. He just happens to go ahead and make them feel like they up. The next thing you know, he start making plays in the 4th quarter. That's it.
Hey,
yo,
can we figure out a way to for the rest of this season? There's only a few more games left, right? Can we figure out a way to not say Patrick Mahomes' name for the rest of this team? He couldn't make it. I'm sorry. I didn't heard it 3
He
times.
said Patrick Mahomes.
I made the comparison in that throw. I said only 2 other quarterbacks could have made that throw. And y'all gotta give me that. That throw, come on, that throw was ridiculous. That's why I brought it up, though.
Come on, man.
Just real quick before we move on, I will say this Bears-Rams game, you talk about playing 4 quarters, like whoever has the ball last is going to win, because we talk about Caleb coming back and winning late. That's what Stafford just did on the road against the Panthers right there. So remember, like Stafford and the Rams, they didn't play a full game themselves. They got to a quick start, but then the 2nd and 3rd quarters, they took a nap. They let the Panthers hang around. If they play that same type of game, I think this could be the game where Caleb does have that dominant performance, because like I said, you play against them like that, I think this could be the game for Caleb. But I think that's going to be the game of the weekend, Rams and Bears.
Definitely. We're not going to break down every game from this past weekend, but if you guys want to see some analysis, check out me and James. We were live earlier. You can see it on YouTube. We broke down in depth every single game, but we got one more topic here, and that's the future of the NFL. There are 3 teams with young cores and a lot of potential. I'm talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Cleveland Browns, who a lot of people say, even though they didn't get into the playoffs, they had the best draft class, and then those Carolina Panthers, who showed everybody what they are about. So the question is, what young team has the brightest future next year? I'm going to start this off with Coach DTM. Which one of these 3 teams you think got the best chances next year?
Man, I swear I have never seen a black man so loved since Barack Obama when it comes to Shador. Like he is like baby Obama, man. Like everybody just love him so much and get upset when he get done wrong, all type of stuff. The best team to me would definitely have to be Jacksonville, man. I think they got a lot to build off of already from what they had this season. They had some injuries that kind of took them by surprise, that they wasn't expecting it. Travis Hunter will be a great factor next season. Hopefully he comes back and doesn't take any more injuries or anything like that. So I'm going with Duval.
Duval for Coach DTM. Ball, bro. Out of the youngest teams, Carolina, Browns, Jacksonville, who will have the better season next year?
I'm basing it off the division they play in. I'm gonna say the Carolina Panthers. I'm tell you what, Bryce Young, he balled out. He did what he had to do on Saturday to win. But like you and James said earlier, he left a little bit too much time on the clock. But I like the core that they got. I think Bryce Young, he took a big step up this year. I love the two-headed backfield with Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. I hope they keep those two guys together. I like their receiving core of McMillan, Coker, and Leggett. See how that goes. I say, draft a tight end. Get Bryce Young a tight end, a big possession tight end, and that will help his progression, fix the O-line a little bit, because we saw in that final drive, he was running for his life essentially. But if you fix the O-line, get Bryce Young a tight end. I like their coach. I like their core. And like I said, the division, there's so much uncertainty right now. Like the Falcons are looking for a coach. The Saints, do they have their quarterback in Shuck? We'll see. But I think the Panthers are in a good spot right now. Listen, 8-9, they took the Rams to the limit, and I think they're going to take a big step next year.
Rose, out of these young teams, Carolina, Cleveland, and Jacksonville, who has the brightest future?
The brightest future goes like this. I like Jacksonville. I like Carolina. But when it comes to the brightest future, man, it has to be the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns had probably a top 5 defense, probably the best defense not to be not to make the playoffs, like in NFL history. Just with Myles Garrett breaking the sack, just breaking the sack record. Of course, they had Jenkins. I think Jenkins at running back is great. Hopefully, he can bounce back from his broken leg and his injury and gets out there and do good. I do think they probably do need a better offensive line. Hopefully they do have somebody up there that's capable of going ahead and just finding players to really fit. Me personally, I would like if Mike McDaniels came to the Cleveland Browns. I almost said Cavaliers, Cleveland Browns, and be that coach, because just for the fact of, I think he fits like their culture, them being young players, them being a team that is defense first. And I feel like he can actually help Shedeur. He's the person that helped Tua Tagovailoa become what he is up to this point. So I think he can help Shedeur. And I ain't gonna lie, man, if he ain't gonna get Mike McDaniels, then you gotta go get Prime, baby.
Exactly. Go get Prime. My pick, when I look at the future, I think, Jacksonville and Carolina, they made the playoffs, so they seem to be like the odds-on favorite. But Carolina, I'm not sold on Bryce yet, 100%. Trevor Lawrence, I never really ever believed in him. I just think good coaching, new atmosphere, the whole energy of the defense got them to where they're going. And Rose hit it on the nose. If Mike Tomlin heads to Cleveland, or one of these good coaching candidates head to Cleveland, you got the defensive rookie of the year and Schwarzenegger, he out there. You still got Myles Garrett on a huge contract. Judkins, Shedeur, all these offensive weapons. Next year, all I gotta say is,
they told me bust out my AP. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing for the Cleveland Browns to take advantage and take that next step. Give me the Cleveland Browns over all these jabronis, man. They the ones with an endless ceiling in my book.
I am with you, Abe, on Trevor Lawrence. I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy. I don't think he hasn't shown me in big games enough big moments. Here's an interesting stat. In his first 3 playoff games, if I'm correct, 7 interceptions. 4 in
Yes.
his first one, the one against the Chiefs a couple years ago, and two this past weekend. So that's not going to cut it. Like he's like the defense has improved, the weapons around him are improved. They're going to get better when they get Travis Hunter back from injuries. So he has to take the next step next year to keep up with all the elite quarterbacks around the league, because Mahomes is going to come back, Burrow's going to come back. So if you would have got past Allen, a little easier path going forward. But you know what? Now you're back to square one. He's going to be one of those guys that's under the most pressure going into 2026.
You don't think Trevor Lawrence got that dog in him? Like you ain't see the game where he, you know what I'm saying? He put it on his back. I'm finna run it in. Don't worry, I'm gonna use my legs to get there. I'm gonna do my part.
He took it in his back. He ain't put nothing on his back last game. What the hell are you talking about?
Now, I just hope Shador doesn't turn into a Bronny James situation where we want him to do so good. We got so much high hopes and pressure on this young man that he is not able to be like the King James, LeBron James.
Nobody ever thought Bronny was gonna be that. Now, come on now. Come on. We need to end this now. Come on. We getting to that point. No, hell no.
What do we have over here?
What do we have over here? Well, that's it for us today. Just wanted to drop in and get some daily news. We'll probably be back tomorrow or the day after with our predictions for the divisional round, as well as the college football national championship, which is going to be an incredible game. Can't wait for that. But till then, it's been real. It's your boy AB from DET.
On that ball, bro, for the NYC.
It's your boy Rose, and he just funny.
Y'all know me, man. Coach DTN will get with y'all on the next go round. Let's get it.
Peace out from the Holy Shhh Sports Podcast. Peace.
Out.